living longer, living healthier, living better than ever before. Welcome to Mountain Pacific's Healthy Living for Life, a weekly series that gives you the information, education, and expert insight you need to become an active participant in today's ever-changing healthcare climate. Here now is today's program host.
Animals can offer us joy, entertainment, and even health benefits. Studies have shown that a bond between humans and animals can reduce blood pressure, improve the feelings of loneliness, and actually improve cognitive function. Welcome to Healthy Living for Life, a show dedicated to helping you do just that. I'm Sarah Medley, your host. Today we're going to learn how a dog and other animals can actually be our health's best friend. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Healthy Living for Life. Joining me today is Emily Intelkofer. Emily is the Executive Director of the Black Dog Animal Rescue. Thank you so much for being with us, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
Today we're going to be talking about animals and the benefit of pet ownership. So what do you see as the biggest benefit of owning a pet?
Well, first of all, they're just lovely. They give you so much love no matter what. But in addition to the love they provide, they give you a lot of opportunity to get outside more, get more exercise, meet new people. Playing with them regularly, going for walks is good for your health, decreases your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, and then the companionship they provide. If you're lonely, they're guaranteed to be right there next to you, making you feel better. They can help you get through bouts of depression. And studies have shown that the bond between people and pets is linked to several health benefits. Like I said, decreasing your blood pressure and lowering your cholesterol. Helping even with symptoms of PTSD. We have a lot of people that rely on dogs to help them through that hard time in their life, and then get you outside, make you do things that you maybe wouldn't normally do, just for the sake of keeping your dog healthy and happy.
So if someone decides, I want a pet, what are some of the things they should take into consideration as they start their search for that pet?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to consider how active you want to be. If you're, only going to go for a 10-minute walk a day, or maybe you're not able to go for a walk at all, you definitely don't want a young, active dog. You would like to maybe look for a smaller, older dog, or even a larger, older dog that is content just, laying around your house. But if you're up for hikes and lots of walks and you go a lot of places, then you can certainly broaden your search and look for dogs that want to go do that kind of stuff with you and require that amount of exercise.
So really more of the high energy dogs is what you should look for if you're a high energy human, right?
Yes, for sure. Yep. And if you're a lower energy human or you don't have a ton of time to dedicate to exercise, then definitely a dog that's going to be content, maybe just following you around the yard a little bit, going for a short walk, maybe a little bit of fetch in the backyard, something like that. Or a cat. Cats are, they don't require much at all. They're pretty easy to have around if you don't have a lot of time or you don't have the energy to keep up with the dog.
That's right. And both cats and dogs can cuddle up on the couch with you if you're so inclined, right?
Yes, they surely can. They do at my house, that's for sure. You also want to make sure that you have the space available for a dog, the kind of dog that you're looking for. If you have a tiny yard, and again, you aren't going to have time to take it somewhere and exercise it, a large dog is probably not for you. If you live in an apartment, you want to make sure that the dog you're looking at isn't a type of dog that's going to bark a lot and make your neighbors angry. And then you want to also make sure that you're going to have some funds available if the dog should get sick or the cat should get sick. You want to be able to provide for it financially if that should happen.
Yeah, that financial piece is a good point for sure. So if an older adult is looking to get a pet, what are the special things they should think about?
I think really the most important thing, and I see this so much in surrenders, actually just in fact this week, we had an 83-year-old man surrender a 6-month-old Labradoodle puppy that he purchased, and that was just not the right dog for him. So you just really want, most importantly, consider how much you're going to be able to exercise the animal, and how much if you're going to be willing to train it and exercise it, then sure, get a puppy. But for a lot of older folks, older dogs are really the best bet and a better match.
So Emily, you use the word surrender. So I'm assuming that means this individual took the dog or had the dog taken to your shelter. Is that what surrender means? Give up
Correct,
the dog?
yes. Yeah, and so we're foster-based. We're not a traditional shelter, so you do have to call, make an appointment, make sure we have room in foster homes before we're able to take surrenders. But we were able to take this dog from him.
Good, good. So when I think about pets, I think about dogs first because I'm a dog lover. And then I think about cats as my number 2 animal. So what other animals might older adults consider?
I am a huge fan of rats. I just most recently had to put my last office rat to sleep in November. And I love them so much. They're easy to keep. They require, maybe I would, deep clean their cage once a week, spot clean it. So any kind of pocket pets like that. Rats, guinea pigs, rabbits, fish are really great. And they really can lower your blood pressure just sitting there and watching them swim around.
I hadn't really thought about fish, so that's a great way to end this segment. So we're out of time, Emily. Thank you. We're going to take a break, and coming up next, we're going to talk about what about you love animals, but you're not able to own one. What do you do? So stay tuned. Welcome back. Emily Intelkofer, Executive Director of the Black Rock Animal Rescue, is back, and joining her is Shelby Tetlow, Program Coordinator with Eagle Mount in Great Falls. So thank you both for being on our show today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So Emily, I'm going to go to you first, and we're going to talk about pets not always being an option for folks. So some folks just are not able to own one. So what advice do you have for them to get involved with animals? So my first thought is volunteering at a rescue center. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Rescues and shelters are always looking for volunteers. We're foster-based, and so we don't have a lot of dogs here most of the time. All of our dogs are in foster homes, but we do have cats here. So if you like cats, you want to come spend time with them, clean up after them, help socialize them. That's really important, especially for little kittens. We are always looking for people to help us socialize kittens as they grow. And then if you're able to have a dog where you live, but you travel a lot, or you just don't want that long-term commitment, fostering is always a great option. We here provide you all the supplies, pay for all the medical costs, and facilitate from intake to adoption, anything that you might need to help make your fostering experience successful. And I assume most places do the same.
Okay, so a question comes to mind, Emily. So when you're saying that somebody's traveling, they have a dog, they really can't care for it, is there a demand for fostering? So do you have a waiting list of folks that want to foster an animal?
More so the other direction. We have a waiting list of dogs that we need fosters for.
Okay.
So temporary fosters are great. We have a lot, if our existing foster base, if somebody's going out of town and they need a place to stay for a few days, we're always looking for people that are able to, help out in that regard.
Does a person, okay.
The list to foster animals is a lot shorter than you would think.
Okay. Does a person need to be experienced with animals to be a volunteer?
No, not at all. Nope. We're happy to help guide people however we need to.
Okay. So fostering animals who are waiting for adoption, is it a pretty simple process? I mean, do you do background checks on folks who are wanting?
There's an application process just like an adoption, just like for adoption. Each foster is paired with a mentor, so the mentor helps gets them set up, gets their house ready, just find a place for their kennel and things like that. Just kind of help them, get the dog into their home.
So in a few seconds, we're going to switch and we're going to talk about animal therapeutics. So any last words, Emily, before we move to our next guest?
Just that, if you want to help animals, I'd say definitely look into volunteering, or if time permits, fostering is a really great way to help save a life.
That's great. Thank you so much, Emily.
Sure.
So now, Shelby, it is your turn, and we're going to talk about what Eagle Mount in Great Falls, Montana does.
Yeah, so Eagle Mount Great Falls is a nonprofit. We're located in Great Falls, but there are 3 Great Falls or Eagle Mounts in Montana. So there's one in Billings, Bozeman, and then Great Falls. We have been providing our adaptive recreation for a little over 31 years now to the Great Falls and surrounding areas. And although myself, I enjoy the animal programs the most, that's the one that I coordinate. We also have programs in soccer and canoeing and ice hockey and skiing and snowboarding. So basically we take any activity that someone with a disability wants to do and we make it happen. We find a way to provide adaptive equipment or adaptive recreation.
So you used a phrase, adaptive therapy. What is that?
Yeah, so adaptive recreations are they're just a way of providing recreation for people with disabilities. So we have people who have physical disabilities and maybe they want to ski and they can't because they can't use their legs. So we provide them with adaptive equipment, which is a sit ski, and then they're able to go down a mountain and ski and actually be able to move themselves without, having someone else's help, which is pretty awesome to see.
Okay, so our viewers can be pretty much anywhere. Are there facilities like yours all over the nation?
Yes, in a sense there is. We provide quite a wide range of recreation, so we're pretty special. You can look up, there's keywords I think that really help find and narrow down what you're looking for. So we have our therapeutic riding. So if you were looking for that, you'd look for therapeutic riding. And if you're looking for adaption, you would search for adaption.
So give me an example. We've got a little less than a minute left, and I want you to give me an example, Shelby, of what you do with the animals.
So my job specifically is coordinating events with our animals and taking care of them. So I am the small animal program coordinator along with the ski program. So we take our goats we have four miniature goats and 13 chickens. And we take the goats to nursing homes and do visits with the folks that live there. And we also have programs here in our barn where we have the goats and the chickens, and participants will go and they have responsibilities and they get to learn how to take care of animals and what it takes to be an animal owner. And they get to form really fun and special bonds with these animals, which is pretty cool to see.
Oh, I can see that you love your job. You absolutely love it. I can tell that, Shelby. That's great.
I can talk about it forever.
I love that. Well, we need to pause for another break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to a therapeutic riding instructor who works with animal therapeutic programs. So don't go away. Welcome back. Shelby Tetlow, Program Coordinator with Eagle Mount Great Falls, is still with us. And joining her is Morgan King, Eagle Mount's Equestrian Program Coordinator and a certified riding instructor. Thank you for being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
So Morgan, talk about what a certified therapeutic riding instructor does and your role at Eagle Mount.
Absolutely. So as a therapeutic riding instructor, my job is to facilitate riding lessons to a variety of individuals with different disabilities. So each lesson is going to look different, but the overall goal is just to focus on what their ability is rather than what their disability is. So those lessons may either be on the ground or in the saddle, but ultimately they're working with the horse. So with that being said, my role at Eagle Mount at Great Falls is to facilitate those classes and as well as just everyday animal care.
So when I think about horses, I think about riding them, right? So your equine program goes beyond that?
Absolutely. So there's so much more when it comes to our equine program other than just riding. It's about creating a bond with the animal. It's learning how to interact with them in the saddle, on the ground. And horses, they just teach us so much about ourselves, and it's about learning how to trust them. They teach us responsibility, kindness, just building our overall confidence and giving us a sense of freedom, especially for those with disabilities that say that they can't walk, just being able to get in the saddle and be able to have that movement. It's such a freedom.
Do they actually develop a bond with the animal, with the horse?
Absolutely. Like, for example, we have a gal that comes and the horse, he greets her at the gate. I mean, they create wonderful bonds.
And I understand you have traveling horses, which is enthralling, that visit nursing homes, retirement communities, and more. Talk to us about that.
We do. So as a fairly new staff member, I haven't had the opportunity to take our miniature horse to any of the centers, but Shelby did this last summer, and they were able to go and spend about 30 minutes with the participants, taking our mini horse and the goats as well, and just interacting with them and allowing them to love on the animals and feed them treats. And it was something that they really enjoyed being able to be a part of.
So I've heard the phrase equine assisted activities. Can you tell me what that means? Is it the same as the therapy?
So there is a difference. So equine assisted activities is what we offer here at Eagle Mount Great Falls. It allows the participants to be able to interact and establish a bond with the animals, as well as providing many mental and physical benefits that we'll discuss later on. But the equine therapy, it is a bit different. So it's facilitated with a team as a team effort, but so it's a team effort with horses and specialized in therapeutic riding instructor like myself, along with a mental health professional such as a physical therapist, occupational therapist, or even a speech therapist.
So what makes a horse a therapy horse? So
in order for a horse to be a therapy horse, it takes a special horse. So when I think of a horse that we would use in our therapeutic riding program, I would think of a horse that's calm. It's a steady horse. It's been there, done that kind of mentality that enjoys its job, being around people, and it's very patient and tolerant and everything. So we are actually looking for horses for our program. So if anybody's interested, there's more of that on our website as well. But definitely a calm and steady demeanor.
So give us an example of the benefits of this therapy. Do you have a person in mind where they went from X to Y and you're really seeing a change?
I would say one of our participants, so he doesn't like to say a whole lot, but when he is around the horses and interacting, you'll actually see him begin to talk to the horse. He doesn't want to talk to people, but he will develop that relationship with the horse and be able to talk with them. So it's pretty neat to watch.
Oh, absolutely. How gratifying. So I'm going to switch to Shelby. Shelby, you specialize in smaller animals, right?
Yep.
Tell us what other programs then involving the animals are at Eagle Mount.
Yeah, so we mainly just have our three programs, I guess you could consider. We have our small animals, the riding component, and then the traveling show is what we call it, our mini crew, going to the nursing homes. And we also go to any other community events that people request us. So we went to a kids camp this summer.
Do you find that people connect with your animals differently?
Yes, I do. I've noticed, and we were just talking about this morning, the difference in ages. I guess when you bring them to nursing homes, there's a huge, you see the residents there start to think about their past and their childhood. Then we have a participant who was in a horrible car accident when he was younger, and he used to rodeo, and so he comes out and gets to ride horses and kind of gets to relive that moment of his life that he used to have.
So do you use volunteers in your program?
Absolutely. So volunteers are a huge part of our program at Eagle Mount. We always welcome them. They help make our mission
Possible, and it's a great way to get involved with the animals and working with individuals with disabilities. So you could come and be like a horse leader, a sidewalker, feeders, or just general maintenance or chores around the barn. And help with our non-riding programs and activities such as our summer camps and so much more. Volunteers are a huge part of what makes this happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that clearly you're relying on volunteers, and I'm assuming they can go to your website and find out more information and how to sign up to become a volunteer, I'm guessing, right?
Absolutely. It's right on there on volunteers, and you can click and it has all the information.
Well, that went so fast. I thank you both so much, Shelby and Morgan, for being with us today.
Of course, it was so much fun.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. I learned a lot too, so it was great. So that's all we have time for today, but please join us again, and we'll come back again next week. And until then, stay fit, stay well, stay healthy for life with Healthy Living for Life. Take care, everyone.
Healthy Living for Life is brought to you by Mountain Pacific Quality Health in partnership with AARP Montana. We'd love to hear from you. If you have suggestions for future programs, visit our website at mpqhf.org or call us at 406-443-4020. You can also catch us on YouTube by visiting our website and clicking on the Healthy Living for Life logo. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions.